Imagine waking up tomorrow with more money than you have ever had. Your bank account is full. Your house is beautiful. Your car is expensive. You can travel whenever you want. You can buy almost anything you desire. And yet, you still cannot sleep. Your mind is racing. You are afraid of losing what you have. You compare yourself to people who have more. You worry about your reputation. You worry about your future. You worry about betrayal. You worry about death. You worry that despite everything you've accumulated, you still aren't happy. This is the strange paradox of wealth. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot guarantee peace. Money can buy a bed, but it cannot guarantee sleep. Money can buy a house, but it cannot create a home. Money can buy entertainment, but it cannot eliminate emptiness. Money can buy security from certain external problems, but it cannot completely protect you from your own mind. And this is where the ancient Stoics offer us something incredibly powerful. They didn't teach that money was evil. They didn't tell people to become poor. They didn't condemn success. Instead, they taught something far more difficult. Never allow external possessions to become the foundation of your inner peace. Because if your peace depends on what you own, then anyone or anything capable of taking those things away can also take your peace. And that is slavery disguised as success. The Stoics seek something different, a form of wealth that cannot be stolen, a form of security that does not depend entirely on circumstances, a form of peace that remains standing even when life becomes uncertain. Today we're going to explore that peace, the peace money cannot buy. Chapter 1. The Great Confusion About Wealth. Modern society teaches us a very simple equation. More money equals more happiness. Earn more. Buy more, upgrade more, own more, display more, and eventually you will feel complete. But the Stoics would challenge the entire equation because they understood something human beings repeatedly forget. There is a difference between improving your life and depending on your improvements to feel worthy of living. Money is useful, food is useful, a comfortable home is useful, good clothing is useful, a successful business is useful. A strong financial position is useful, but usefulness does not make something the source of your character. Consider a man who earns $10,000 a month. He has a beautiful home, a successful business, a luxury vehicle. But every morning he checks his bank account in fear. Every competitor makes him anxious. Every market decline terrifies him. Every expensive purchase becomes a way to impress people. Every successful person makes him feel inferior. Is he wealthy? Financially, perhaps. But internally, he may be desperately poor, because his possessions have become his psychological foundation. Now imagine another person. He has modest possessions. He works hard. He saves. He invests. He builds his career. But he doesn't need to prove himself every morning. He doesn't collapse when someone earns more. He doesn't hate himself because someone owns something better. He can enjoy success without worshipping it. He can lose something without believing he has lost himself. That person possesses something extremely valuable, inner independence. And the Stoics would argue that this is one of the highest forms of wealth. Chapter 2. Money can buy comfort, not contentment. Money can change your circumstances, but circumstances are not the same thing as contentment. If you are hungry, money can buy food. If you are homeless, money can help provide shelter. If you lack access to education, money can create opportunities. If you are financially insecure, money can provide stability. These things matter. We should not romanticize poverty. Financial security can reduce enormous amounts of unnecessary stress. But there is a point where additional money begins producing diminishing psychological returns. You move from, I need enough, to, I need more. Then, I need more than him. Then, I need to protect what I have. Then, I need even more because someone else has more. And suddenly, you are no longer using money. Money is using you. This is why the Stoics placed such importance on understanding desire. Because desire has no natural finish line. You can satisfy hunger, but you cannot satisfy endless comparison. You can buy a house, but there will always be a bigger house. You can buy a car, but there will always be a more expensive one. You can become successful, but someone will always be ahead of you in some category. If your happiness depends upon winning every comparison, you have created a game you can never finish. Chapter 3. The Stoic difference between need and want. One of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself is, do I actually need this? Not, can I afford it? Not, will people admire me for having it? Not, will this make me look successful? But, do I actually need it? The Stoics understood that simplicity can be incredibly powerful. Imagine having enough money to purchase something expensive and choosing not to. Not because you cannot afford it, but because you don't need it. That is freedom, because the person who cannot say no to his desires is not truly wealthy. He may have money, but he lacks control. The Stoic asks, does this possession serve my life? Or am I serving this possession? That's the difference. If you own a car and enjoy it, fine. If you own a house and appreciate it, fine. If you build a successful company and take pride in your work, fine. But if you cannot imagine yourself being worthy without these things, you have given them too much power. Chapter 4. The fear of losing everything. One of the hidden costs of wealth is the fear of losing wealth. The more you own, the more you may feel you have to protect. A poor man may fear not having enough. A wealthy man may fear losing what he has. Different circumstances, similar anxiety. This is why Stoicism teaches us to mentally separate ourselves from our possessions, not to become careless, but to become psychologically prepared. The Stoic knows, this belongs to me for now. Not, this belongs to me forever. Your money can disappear. Your business can fail. Your investment can decline. Your reputation can change. Your possessions can break. People can leave. Circumstances can turn. This doesn't mean you should expect disaster every morning. It means you should remember that nothing external comes with a permanent guarantee. And once you accept this, you become less fragile. Chapter 5. Marcus Aurelius and the Art of Acceptance. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that life is temporary. Power is temporary. Fame is temporary. Possessions are temporary. Even the body is temporary. This wasn't pessimism. It was preparation. Because when you understand impermanence, you appreciate what you have without becoming possessed by it. Imagine holding a beautiful object in your hands. You know it is fragile. Does that make you appreciate it less? No. It may make you appreciate it more. The same is true of life. Your family, your health, your opportunities, your business, your money, your time. You don't appreciate these things because they are permanent. You appreciate them because they are temporary. And that realization can create peace. Chapter 6. The man who needs to prove himself. There is another form of poverty that money cannot cure: the need for validation. Some people don't buy things because they love them. They buy them because they want people to notice. The expensive watch becomes a message. The luxury car becomes a message. The designer clothing becomes a message. The huge house becomes a message. The social media post becomes a message. Look at me. I made it. I'm important. I'm successful. But the problem with external validation is that it requires an audience, and audiences are unpredictable. Today they praise you. Tomorrow they criticize you. Today they admire your success. Tomorrow they forget you exist. If your identity depends on applause, you become a prisoner of public opinion. The Stoic seeks another source of validation: character. Did I act honestly? Did I keep my word? Did I control myself? Did I do what was right? Did I act courageously? Did I treat people fairly? Those questions cannot be answered by your bank balance. They must be answered by your conscience. Chapter 7. The peace of not competing with everyone. Modern life constantly tells you, you need to catch up. Someone is richer. Someone is younger. Someone is more attractive. Someone has a better house. Someone has more followers. Someone has a bigger business. Someone travels more. Someone drives a better car. And if you allow yourself, you can spend your entire life feeling behind. The Stoics would tell you to step away from the race. Not because ambition is bad, but because meaningless comparison destroys peace. Your opponent is not the person next to you. Your opponent is the weaker version of yourself. Your goal isn't to become richer than everyone. Your goal is to become better than you were yesterday. More disciplined, more rational, more courageous, more patient, more capable, more financially responsible, more peaceful. That is a competition worth entering. Chapter 8. The Rich Man Who Cannot Enjoy His Wealth. There is a tragedy that happens to many successful people. They spend years chasing money and then discover they have forgotten how to enjoy life. They are always working, always checking numbers, always negotiating, always planning, always worrying, always thinking about the next target, the next deal, the next investment, the next promotion, the next million. Eventually they reach a point where they have enough money to buy almost anything, but no time to enjoy it. This is why Stoicism teaches balance. Work, but don't become your work. Earn, but don't worship money. Build, but don't become enslaved to what you build. Achieve, but don't make achievement your identity. Because if you spend your entire life climbing a mountain, you should occasionally stop and look at the view. Chapter 9. The Value of Enough. One of the most radical ideas in modern society is enough. Enough sounds like failure. Advertising tells us there is always another upgrade, another level, another product, another experience, another status symbol. But the Stoic asks, what if enough is actually freedom? Enough doesn't mean I will never improve. It means I can improve without being miserable in the present. That's different. You can want more income without hating your current income. You can build a bigger business without despising your current business. You can pursue greater success without believing your current life is worthless. This is the psychology of abundance. You are ambitious, but not desperate. You are hungry, but not enslaved by hunger. You want more, but you don't believe you are nothing without more. That is powerful. Chapter 10. Money and the Fear of Death. There is one thing money will never negotiate with: death. The richest person and the poorest person eventually face the same reality. No bank account can purchase immortality. No mansion can stop time. No luxury car can reverse aging. No investment portfolio can guarantee tomorrow. And the Stoics spent considerable time reflecting on death. Why? Because remembering death puts life into perspective. You realize that the argument you're having may not matter. The jealousy may not matter. The ego may not matter. The desire to impress strangers may not matter. The resentment you've carried for 10 years may not matter. And suddenly, what matters becomes clearer. Your character, your relationships, your use of time, your contribution, your ability to live according to your principles. Money becomes what it should have been all along: a tool, not a god. Chapter 11. The Peace of Owning Less. There is something deeply liberating about needing less. Every possession comes with responsibility. The more you own, the more you maintain. The more expensive your lifestyle, the more income you must maintain. The higher your standard of consumption, the harder it becomes to step backward. This creates what we might call financial captivity. You aren't poor, but you aren't free either, because your lifestyle requires constant performance. You need the job. You need the business. You need the clients. You need the income. You need the next deal. You need the next paycheck. And suddenly your expensive lifestyle has become your prison. The Stoic asks, how little do I need to live well? That question can completely transform your relationship with money. Chapter 12. The Power of Financial Discipline. Stoicism is not an excuse for financial irresponsibility. Quite the opposite. A peaceful mind is easier to maintain when your finances are disciplined. Spend less than you earn. Save consistently. Avoid unnecessary debt. Invest intelligently. Build skills. Protect your future. Don't gamble your peace on appearances. Don't buy something merely because everyone else owns it. Don't spend tomorrow's freedom to impress people today. Financial discipline creates options, and options create peace. When you have savings, you can say no. When you have skills, you can adapt. When you control your spending, you need less income to survive. When you avoid unnecessary debt, you reduce the number of people controlling your future. That is not merely financial intelligence, it is Stoic independence. Chapter 13, the peace of saying no. One of the strongest words in the Stoic vocabulary is no. No to unnecessary spending. No to pointless arguments. No to toxic relationships. No to comparison. No to ego. No to temptation. No to opportunities that violate your values. No to lifestyles you cannot sustain. Every time you say no to something unnecessary, you say yes to something more important. Your time, your attention, your freedom, your principles, your peace. The person who can say no possesses a power that money alone cannot provide. Chapter 14. What happens when you stop chasing approval? Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you don't need everyone to like you. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need everyone to respect you. You don't need to prove that you're successful. You don't need to explain every decision. You don't need to display every achievement. What happens? You become quieter, more focused, more deliberate, more peaceful. You stop performing and you start living. This is one of the hidden benefits of Stoicism. It moves your attention from, what do people think about me? To, what kind of person am I becoming? That is a completely different life. Chapter 15. The Stoic test of wealth. Here's a powerful test. Imagine losing most of your possessions tomorrow. Not your life, not your character, not your knowledge, not your skills, but your money, your car, your house, your status, your possessions. Would you still know who you are? If the answer is yes, you possess something valuable. If the answer is no, then perhaps you have allowed your possessions to become your identity. The goal isn't to become indifferent to everything. The goal is to understand, I am not what I own, I am what I choose. I am my decisions. I am my character. I am my principles. I am how I behave when life doesn't go according to plan. That is the wealth nobody can take from you. Chapter 16. The inner bank account. Think about your bank account. You probably know approximately how much money is there. But what about your inner account? How much patience do you have? How much discipline? How much courage? How much self-control? How much wisdom? How much resilience? How much integrity? These are invisible assets, but they determine how you handle your visible assets. Give money to an undisciplined person, and money may amplify his problems. Give money to a disciplined person, and money can become a tool for building. This is why character must come before wealth, because money magnifies the person holding it. If you are insecure, more money can give you more expensive ways to hide insecurity. If you are greedy, more money can give your greed greater reach. If you are generous, more money can increase your ability to help. If you are disciplined, more money can increase your freedom. Money doesn't automatically transform character. It often reveals it. Chapter 17. The peace of accepting what you cannot control. The heart of Stoicism is simple. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. You can control your effort. You cannot control the market. You can control your spending. You cannot control inflation. You can control your decisions. You cannot control other people's decisions. You can control your response to criticism. You cannot control what everyone says about you. You can control how you prepare. You cannot control the outcome of every situation. And this distinction creates enormous peace, because much of human anxiety comes from trying to control things that were never ours to control. We cannot command the world. We can only command our response to the world. That is where peace begins. Chapter 18. Stop asking money to do a job it cannot do. Money has a job, and money has jobs it cannot perform. Money can provide comfort. It cannot provide character. Money can create opportunities. It cannot create wisdom. Money can attract attention. It cannot guarantee genuine love. Money can buy entertainment. It cannot guarantee joy. Money can buy security from certain risks. It cannot eliminate uncertainty. Money can give you freedom from some forms of dependence, but it cannot free you from yourself. So stop asking money to perform psychological jobs. Don't ask money. Make me worthy. Make me loved. Make me confident. Make me peaceful. Make me important. Those are jobs for character, for relationships, for purpose, for philosophy, for self-respect. Chapter 19. The Quiet Life. There is a certain kind of success that doesn't look impressive online. A man who sleeps peacefully, a woman who doesn't constantly compare herself, a family that eats together, a person who has little debt, someone who saves consistently, someone who doesn't need applause, someone who can enjoy an ordinary afternoon, someone who can sit alone without needing constant stimulation, someone who can say, I have enough for today. That may not look glamorous, but it is powerful. Because peace is often quiet. You won't always see it in photographs. You won't find it in luxury advertisements. You can't measure it with a bank statement, but you can feel it when you close your eyes at night. Chapter 20. How to build the peace. Money cannot buy. So how do you actually develop this peace? Start with 5 principles. 1. Define your enough. Know what financial security means to you. Without a definition of enough, you can spend your entire life chasing an imaginary finish line. 2. Separate wealth from identity. You can be wealthy without believing wealth makes you superior. And you can struggle financially without believing that struggle makes you worthless. Your financial situation is part of your life. It is not the total definition of your life. 3. Practice voluntary simplicity. Occasionally choose less. Eat simply. Spend simply. Live simply, not because you cannot afford more, but because you want to prove to yourself that you don't need more to be okay. 4. Build inner assets. Develop discipline, wisdom, courage, patience, self-control. These are investments nobody can confiscate. 5. Practice gratitude without abandoning ambition. Be grateful for what you have and continue improving. These are not contradictions. You can say, I am grateful for today and I will work for a better tomorrow. That is healthy ambition. Chapter 21. The ultimate form of financial freedom. Most people define financial freedom as, I have enough money that I never need to work again. But perhaps there is another definition. Financial freedom is also, I no longer need money to tell me who I am. Think about that. If you earn more, you're grateful. If you earn less, you adapt. If someone has more, you don't become bitter. If someone has less, you don't become arrogant. If your investments grow, you remain disciplined. If your investments fall, you remain rational. If people praise your success, you remain humble. If people criticize you, you remain grounded. That is freedom, because your emotional state is no longer controlled entirely by your financial circumstances. Chapter 22. The final lesson from the Stoics. The Stoics never promised that life would be easy. They promised something more valuable. You can become stronger than the circumstances trying to disturb you. Money will fluctuate. Markets will rise and fall. Businesses will succeed and fail. People will come and go. Opportunities will appear and disappear. Your body will age. Time will move. But through all of it, you can cultivate something within yourself. A calm mind, a disciplined character, a rational perspective, a grateful heart, a courageous spirit. And when you possess those things, you begin to understand something profound. The greatest wealth is not having everything. It is reaching the point where you don't need everything to be okay. Conclusion: the peace that cannot be bought. So ask yourself tonight, what am I really chasing? Money, or the feeling I believe money will give me? Status, or the validation I believe status will provide? Luxury, or the security I believe luxury represents? Success, or the feeling of finally being enough? These questions matter because you can spend 20 years chasing the wrong thing, only to discover that you already possessed what you were searching for. Peace does not come from controlling everything. It comes from knowing what deserves your control. Peace does not come from having everything. It comes from appreciating what you have. Peace does not come from defeating everyone. It comes from mastering yourself. Peace does not come from becoming richer than everyone else. It comes from becoming less dependent on comparison. And peace does not come from eliminating every problem. It comes from developing the character to face problems without losing yourself. That is the Stoic path. Build wealth. Yes, save, invest, work, create, grow. Become financially strong. But never make the mistake of believing that your bank account can become your soul. Money should serve your life. Your life should not serve money. Own possessions. But don't let possessions own you. Pursue success. but don't become a slave to success. Build a great life. But remember that a great life isn't necessarily the loudest life. Sometimes greatness looks like a quiet morning, a clear conscience, a disciplined mind, a healthy relationship, a debt-free life, a purpose worth waking up for, and the ability to lie down at night without needing to prove anything to anyone. That is wealth. Real wealth. The kind nobody can display on Instagram. The kind nobody can steal from your bank account. The kind no market crash can destroy. The kind no competitor can take. The kind no government can tax. The kind no stranger can give you. And the kind money can never buy. Because the ultimate goal of wealth is not to own more. It is to become the kind of person who is no longer owned by what he owns. Build your wealth. Protect your character. Control your desires. Accept what you cannot control. And never trade your peace for possessions. Because at the end of the day, you can have millions in the bank and still be poor inside. Or you can live with less and possess something far more valuable. A mind that is free, a conscience that is clear, a life that is purposeful, and a peace that money can never buy. That is Stoic wealth.